I'm Ryan Lee. I'm from the United States, coming here through Empowered Startups program. I'm very close to getting the final touches and moving here, but I started my research project with Universidade de Coimbra, and my project is focusing on misinformation and the role of technology in creating authoritarian creep, if you will. Portugal is both innovative and innovative in a human-focused direction to improve life, to improve this planet, to improve the world we live in. My deepest passion is this planet and the people, the creatures and people that inhabit it, and Portugal shares and aligns with that value. So for me, it was an easy choice to come here. Research-wise, I explored a lot. I had a table of every possible residency option throughout the world, even just to start as broadly as possible. Quickly narrowed it down to Portugal. I used to live in Austria and I knew the EU was my home. I was recruited for jobs that I couldn't participate in because I didn't have EU citizenship. So Portugal drew me in that way. I looked at the golden visas. I think it's great for the people who can afford that. It just kind of felt more like buying a place rather than earning a place. And Empowered Startups is not free. That's, of course, there's still money that goes into it, but you are still going to be a big part of the community with opportunities. And for me, it was the chance to be able to build something with a great head start with this community that drew me to Empowered Startups. And once I discovered it, it was a no-brainer. So when I first heard it would be 4 months, I thought, not a chance. Well, that's a false advertisement. It has to be. Sure enough, in less than 4 months, I had my residency. Now I've been through the process twice, and the firm that Empowered Startups works with Joana Reich, has just been absolutely fantastic. Quick to respond, helpful with the extensive process. My visa appointment went very smoothly. Last summer, I got my residency card just a couple weeks afterwards. Joanna had to fix something. There's always going to be something that the bureaucracy is going to look at, and she handled the one small detail, and we knocked it out. We got it very quickly. My family reunification also just recently happened last month. IMO took a long time to get back to that, but that's nothing Empowered Startups has control over. So my family came out and they changed some rules in between, as IMO tends to do, and we had an issue with needing a second FBI background check. It used to be prior to the application, now it's prior to the appointment. It's very hard to get one of those that quickly, and still this time we had Viviana Feltor, and she was also incredible. We were in there for a long time because it was a battle, because we were missing these, but we walked out of there, much to my surprise, with residence for my family, and Viviana even talked them into letting us go back, get the document after the fact, and submit it electronically to finalize. So I tell everyone that there's no way we would have gotten through that process without Empowered Startups and Leis Pink the law. It's been great. I haven't moved here yet. I've still had many interactions. Questions come up. I'm still working with exactly how my company is going to function. I think it's very difficult to plot out an entire business enterprise from afar, unless, if you don't have a specific. I find healthcare, they can do that. Like, this is my patent, this is what I'm doing. So being able to workshop that with the Empowered Startups team has been incredibly helpful. I'm now walking into this conference now about 1 year after I first introduced to Empowered Startups with an actual plan for what we're going to do, how we're going to do it. My research project is far along. It's just been, I've never been truly nervous, and I'm in a lot of, I do want to use this moment to say I do not like the term expat, because people that call themselves expats everywhere else, they call everyone immigrants. So I'm in immigrant communities and I hear all the horror stories, and I just didn't really have any of those thanks to Empowered Startups. It's daunting. There is a bureaucracy, and it's going to be difficult in ways, and your patience can be tested, but they have your back, and I haven't had anything come up that they were unable to handle, and we've of course had some things come up. So it's been a wonderful experience so far, and very excited to move to Portugal here in just a few weeks. If you're in the United States, you need a second residency. My background, you asked earlier, is in geopolitics, human rights, a lot of these things. I heard someone recently say diversification of mobility is just as important as diversification of assets. And a second residency just opens so much of the world for you, for your family, for your children. It opens education opportunities. If you're American, you can get healthcare. I know, sounds crazy, but everyone else does do that. And it's a chance to just open doors, and you might be called back home, you might be called elsewhere, but you have options that just change your life. I think it's incredibly important. As for empowered startups and the HQA visa, for those that can meet the threshold and the qualifications, I think it is a no-brainer as far as the options. If it's a worthy investment. I think golden visas is there are people right now that just had the citizenship ladder pulled up with golden visas. Can you imagine paying €500,000 and then being on year 4 and it being pulled up? What do? You just sit and wait. Same thing happened to all of us, but I have an opportunity. I can still contribute. I will still be a part of a lot of things. This whole team here at Empowered Startups will. So as far as broadening your horizons, creating the most opportunity for yourself, for your family, and to really live an involved and communal life in Portugal, I just think it's the best option. There's a lot of great visas, but you're still on your own for that. And the changing rules, very quickly changing rules, and the direction this world is headed with fears of immigration and concerns about people coming from outside, and tightening of borders, you really do need someone on your side, whether that's an attorney, but then that only covers one base, and you get one of those with Empowered Startups. So I think if you're going to choose a second residency, I know there are other options through Empowered Startups. I only know Portugal. Portugal second residency, Empowered Startups, no question.